Welcome to the Midlife Pilot Podcast. We are glad you're with us. What is it like to become a pilot in your 40s and 50s? The challenges are unique for those of us in midlife, but so are the rewards. Hosts Ben, Brian, and Ted talk learning to fly, growing as pilots, and the joy of flying to destinations. The purpose of the podcast is not to teach, but to share knowledge and experiences of being a midlife pilot. Join the Midlife Pilot community and listen in every week. We are not CFIs or particularly intelligent, so if you want to learn how to fly, talk to anyone else other than the hosts of a podcast. Even this intro was too challenging for us, and we used a robot to do it. Okay, checklists are complete. Let's get the show started.
Hello and welcome to the Midlife Pilot Podcast, episode 149. This podcast, we like to share the experiences and challenges of flying in midlife. This episode will be our information whiskey. We do this about once a month, about every 4 episodes. With me, as always, are my friends Brian in Nashville and Ted in Portland. Hello, fellas.
Hey,
what's going on?
We'll be just kind of batting things around and chewing the fat, so we like to say here in the South. But I do want to catch up on, we've got some folks doing some fun flying, and I want to hear about it. And I think tonight we should start with Brian, because he looked like he was getting ready to say something.
God forbid I'm on a podcast and I say something, right? Yeah, open that up, Ted.
Yeah, you're on mute, so we couldn't hear it.
I muted because I know you have to edit the show, and I didn't want to have that cracking the can of a spotted cow open.
Well, so if you're a first-time listener, you can understand that this is going very poorly, and that this is what you signed up for. You can turn it off now. I love our information whiskey format, or lack of format, because I think people already refer to our show as being maybe a little bit looser anyway. So it's kind of like we're a free jazz group that is tonight doing even more improvisation. So appreciate you guys hanging with us, especially you guys in the chat. Awesome to have everybody here.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, I did some flying the last several days. The weather's been just unreal.
Yeah.
Everywhere. And I remember when I was in the very earliest stage of trying to understand weather for private pilot things or whatever, and even just things like high pressure and low pressure just kind of had you scratching your head for a second. If you weren't already a weather nerd, you're like, wait, which one is? And I always,
if you weren't Erica, yeah,
right. So I just decided that high pressure is H for hell yeah. So it was definitely hell yeah all the last week. And so did some flying, quite a set of adventures. Let's see, I'll run it down real quick so it's not too boring. But I've talked about Bunyan's Barbecue on the show before in Muscle Shoals. Not the best sounding name, but is amazing barbecue, family-owned place, been there 50 years. Mustard.
This is the one with the hot dogs, correct?
You got the hot dogs, yeah. Our friend Luke has a pretty great bit about these.
Yes.
But did a trip down there, did a little Muscle Shoals barbecue run, and you can tip people at FBOs, right? You can tip your fuel guy, you can tip people. And that's all great. You should. What I learned is if you come back with barbecue sandwiches and hot dogs and just a giant thing of them, that goes a long way.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, it does.
I hit the mechanic shop. I hit the FBO. Everywhere I was going, I was the Santa Claus of Muscle Shoals barbecue. And so it felt good just to be nice. But then I've also lived on and only eaten exclusively barbecue and hot dogs for like the last 3 days.
Yeah.
So it's finally ran out today. So that's good. I'm going to come back from this. But
things you can do when you're in basic med, right?
Right. Right. Yeah. Top 10 reasons you should get your basic med. So anyway, that was great flying, great fun. And then next day was, I guess, Saturday. I flew to Madisonville to India 0 for the Wings Over Western Kentucky air show fly-in. Funny story about that. I called ahead because I wanted to see about the parking situation and all that. And I called and the person I was talking to said, well, yeah, just come on in. By the way, would you like to have your plane be a static display? And I said, wait, I'm sorry, what? She says, well, do you want it to be a static display? It can be on display with, the other aircraft on display. And I just said, it's a Cherokee 180. Like what? She's like, no, that'd be fine. That'd be great.
Yeah. Yeah.
I found out. She said, well, honestly, it also just helps us because we're trying to keep the movement area for the performers clear and anybody that, So it was kind of like more of a help to them.
She needed a seat filler, and that's what you were.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
So then I it was an afternoon it's an afternoon air show with a night air show and all that, sunset into night. So I go up there and, they wanted to get any other planes that are coming in and out done by about 2:00. So I was up there pretty early, around 2:00. I arrived. At first I just thought, do I have the wrong airport? I mean, there's nobody on frequency. There's nothing going on. But then I started to see all the tents and all the things. And I was like, okay, great. So I land, taxi up. They said, yeah, park right there. Then they put me on one of the remote control things and towed me, opened up the gates and towed it in and then pulled the gates and all this stuff, the temporary fencing and all that stuff around it. And it was just there. So I didn't realize it was going to be sort of static display kind of in the middle of the crowd of everything that was going on. And, So I ended up unwittingly being kind of a general aviation ambassador, 1960s Cherokee salesman, I guess, or something for the duration. And it ended up at one point where when a mom comes up with 2 little kids and the kids are all enamored with the airplane and, and they're like, can he sit in there, or, take a picture or something? I'm like, all right, sure. So, help him up, get him in the right seat and everything. And then they take the pictures. And then as soon as that's happening, I turn around, there's basically like a queue that's forming. And I realized this is not good.
Yeah.
This is not what I was trying to do. So it was very Seinfeldian, or, it was sort of like, okay, how do I do this without being, the bad guy, to just kind of turn this faucet of, display plane off.
Right.
But it ended up being just an amazing event. I did spend some time policing the airplane and making sure everything was cool. The best part was I didn't bring a chair or, anything, but since my airplane was right in the middle of everything and one of the best seats of the house, I just sat in the plane with the door open.
Oh man.
And just had sat there with a nice coffee and just had I don't know. It was great. So they had great
couple
food,
questions.
everything. Yeah.
And I want to hit our friend Zach's comment. He asked on static display with pulled pork all over the co-pilot seat. Yeah. I was going to ask, did any kids go, why does it smell like barbecue in here?
Barbecue and cigarettes.
And that's why he said that's what the 1960s smelled like, kid.
Yeah, exactly. Like, why does it smell like grandpa?
Yeah, exactly. And then, so when did it occur to you that if you're in the middle of everything, how are you going to get out? Like, are you there for the,
I'm so glad you brought that up. Yeah. So, let me just say the air show was amazing. There was an guy from Canada that was flying an Easy that was this crazy aerobatic Easy situation. It was really cool. They had all the jet trucks and all the fireworks and all the planes and all the things. It was really cool.
Yeah.
But yes. So then there was a thing where it ended. I was kind of timing everything to be ready to go. And so I was out there in a headlamp, pre-flighting everything, making sure everything was good and make sure nobody made off with one of the parts of the plane or something. And everything was good. And then and everybody kind of left, and then they weren't opening the gates for me. So I had to get on the handheld and say, hey, is this happening? When can I leave? And they're like, oh, well, there's another TFR and we've got to get fireworks FOD off the runway. This is about 8:15. They're like, oh, you'll be able to go about 10. I was just, oh no. And I was just in my mind, I was thinking, I just gave value to this whole, I was basically a presenter for this thing. Come on.
Yeah.
So no, but long story short, then I think somebody kind of chimed in and said, oh, okay, we got to figure this out. So it was me and another guy in a 140. He said, can I get out before you? They gave us 5 minutes. You got 5 minutes to start up and get off the runway. And so he's like, can I go before you? Because he's intersection departure. He's gone. Meanwhile, I'm using every bit of the taxi to do all of my testing and all my, the fastest run up ever. And which I didn't love, but here I am. It was fine. And then, took off and got out of there with about 1 minute to spare before the airspace was locked down again. So anyway, it was fantastic. Small note, just slightly earlier that day when I was taking off, I was present for that skydiving accident that happened, at John Toon. And so that was really weird. Just a lot of weird stuff happened that day. It was really sad about that, skydiving, incident. So, I was at the hold short line when all of that was going on over the radios. So just a lot of just weird. It was just a very just up and down and weird all around day. But I loved it. And then coming back at night obviously was just fantastic. And then last night I took the plane back, and just real quick, I'll try to wrap this up. But I was flying back to Bowling Green. I flew up the practice RNAV into runway 3 and scored pretty high. I'm pretty happy on my fly stow debrief.
Nice.
So that was nice. And I still needed 2 more landings for night currency. And so since I came in with a 1 or 2 knot tailwind coming into runway 3 and did a full stop, took off again because, long story, you don't want to take off the other direction at that airport, especially at night. Took off again and then just went up to about 800 AGL, pulled power, practiced an impossible turn to go back to the runway to full stop land, and then was done. So, but I practiced an impossible turn that I wanted to pull the engine and then simulate that because I wanted to do it at night. I wanted to see what this is like at night. And I like to feel that push that you've got, like how aggressive that push is. So, pulled the power, did the really strong push, and then I put, I think about 1800 RPM in or something. Once I kind of got settled to sort of emulate kind of losing the engine, but maybe getting it back a little bit or something.
Sorry. This is a dumb question. What's idle in your plane?
How many RPM?
What RPM?
Oh, I was going to say idles when you pull the power all the way back. It's the same as really anything with an engine. No,
yes.
But that's not important now.
Yeah, exactly.
About 900, 800 to 900. Yeah.
Okay.
Yours probably idles at 4,000.
No, seriously, 1,800 is idle.
Yeah, right.
I'm not joking. That is idle. So that's why I'm asking, because I have to compare. So
yeah. Well, so anyway, that's the quickest version I can give of all the flying I did. But I just had a heck of a time, and it was really cool because a lot of the plans I had made did not work out. People were sick, whatever. I did all this stuff by myself, and I just had such a great time. So never let change plans or people not being able to join you keep you from having just an incredible experience that you would never have any other way. And that's what's so great about
join
flying.
you for the other fly-ins, so that gave you the opportunity. So you're welcome.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks for coming.
You were talking about going to the Swift fly-in? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
We were talking about
I was going to ask about that. Yeah.
So, Ted, you've been, it's getting fall up there, but you're doing some beach trips anyway, right?
Yeah. So I flew 2 of our people this week. Delta Foxtrot was in town, and he had asked me many, many months ago. He's like, hey, if I come on October 1st, roughly, can we fly together? I'm like, it depends on the weather, but yeah. So he stayed an extra day so he could fly with me.
Nice.
And, the weather was interesting. We went and played Legal Distances from Clouds. It was some of the strangest clouds we've had in a little while. And we ended up going over to my Twin Peaks diner that you've all seen in a recent video.
Yeah.
And he loved that. And he told me later that it was the day after his birthday. So he'd been in Portland the first time for his birthday.
Oh,
and,
nice.
we had a great time flying together, and we finally got to see one of the mountains. The rest were shrouded in clouds. So that was a great time. So Delta Foxtrot. So he was at our 100th episode recording in West Virginia. He lives in Ohio. So
the non-event.
Yes, exactly. So it was cool to see him and catch up and just nerd out on a lot of stuff. So it was
Absolutely.
great. Hotel Charlie Papa, aka Dom. And I finally got back up in the air. So I said, he's a relatively low hour pilot. I'm like, where haven't you gone? And he said, I haven't gone to Seattle. I'm like, great, let's go to Boeing Field. So we flew up to Seattle and went into Boeing Field, which is always busy. And it was kind of intense this time. And I'm not sure why. It might have a little bit to do with the funding situation of the government right now, but they were a little stressed and just not having it. But we had a good time. We flew up there and we flew around, and then we went down and we saw it some time. So I'm like, hey, I already knew when low tide was. Let's go land on the beach. So we jetted over to the coast and went, which I just love going to that place. Copalis, I think it's Sierra 16, and landing on that beach. So we had a good time going out and doing that. So it's fun landing with people. This is the time of the year that the weather changes. So instead of my taxi forward being 20 feet straight forward from the non-movement area to take off. So basically I do my run up and then I'm like, hey, how you doing? They're like, taxi forward on Bravo 7. And then I call it a tower. I'm ready to go. Yeah. Instead, it's the other end of the runway. So it's a mile taxi, 5,000 feet down to the other end. So to taxi ways to get down there. And what it means is when I come back, if you're doing it right, you say, hey, can I have a long landing? And if they don't have anybody coming in behind you, you can land. What I like doing is landing on the 1,000-footers, just the wrong 1,000-footers. Because my turnoff is at the very end of the runway. There's a displaced threshold that way. So I have some room, but I come in and I get down in a ground effect right at the beginning of the runway. I sit there and I fly 4,000 feet down the runway, and then I drop it down on the 1,000-footers and I turn right. So that was a lot of fun. Nice. I've done that, I think, twice this week, which is, it's such a weird maneuver to do. And maybe it's not the smartest, saying, oh, I'm going to wait to land until there's 1,000 feet remaining on the runway. But
and you were playing, that's not.
No, not at all. And I'm stable and I'm 20 feet off the runway.
That's questionable.
Yeah. And there's a milder version of that at Oshkosh that happens, 100 times an hour. So
yes, land on the dot.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, so it's fun.
Like what Zach says here, he says, I did not know that this was an option. I'm heading west to get my midlife Eagle flight.
It is very important to watch where the tides are. And when you get there, watch where the people are and if there's any vehicles there. And like when we were there was a guy on powered parachute thing. And it was like, all right, he's not talking on the radio. We're just going to kind of come in a circle and see if he moves out of the way. And if not, we'll leave. And he moved out of the way. And so, yeah, it was difficulty level is a little higher. So, yeah.
That's funny. You're like the 7.3 coming in by comparison to
exactly. It's like,
I guess everything's relative.
Giant plane, the egg.
Everybody look out.
Yeah. Yeah.
With caution, wake turbulence. That's awesome. And Delta Foxtrot is in our chat, and he's done something that I haven't done, and that's actually fly with Ted. So hopefully one day we'll get this done.
Yeah.
I haven't, the multi has, weather hasn't been as friendly here for multi-training. Haven't done any flights since our last podcast. But I have been advised by several that I need 100 hours a night, and I'm at 62. So I decided, and it actually kind of works out better with my schedule anyway. I'm going to start doing, I'm going to emulate our friend Alyssa Miller, who has got a lot of nighttime. We used to set our clocks by the creeper bot because she'd be up at 7:30 at night, just about every night. So I plan on doing that and trying to get to 100 as soon as I can. And I flew up to Chattanooga. Hadn't been up there in a while, and I filed IFR going up there and thought I was going to have to shoot an instrument approach, but the edge of the overcast was maybe 5 miles, maybe 10 miles south of Chattanooga's airport. So it was clearing a million. But I did want to, it was like a overcast layer at like 2,500 feet. And I'd like to try to get some more night IFR approaches in, when it's marginal. But I've got a few good photos too, which, it's always fun, but that's been out for me. I got some more multi-training coming up this week. So ready to hop back in the Duchess and, start failing some engines.
The Duchess has been down for a while. It's back up.
It's back up, came back today, a lot of little squawks. And I got to tell you, the main squawk was the electric trim was out. And it's just with my instructors, the seats are pretty close together and the trim wheel is in between the seats. So I'm like having to maneuver my arm around to get in between the seats so I could trim the plane. And your hands got to be on. So it's like just back and forth between the throttle and the trim all the time. So that electric trim really does reduce your workload in that particular airplane. So I'm glad that they got that taken care of because it does make it a lot easier.
So what you're saying is it's not a window knob on the ceiling.
It is not. It is not. No.
Yes.
So honestly, it'd probably be a little bit easier to trim if it was up there.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
Question. When you were flying to Chattanooga, it's that there's a lot of mountains there. All of North Georgia and all of the areas, all very mountainous.
Yeah.
And you're doing night and mountains. And you almost had 3 out of 3. So tell me how you accounted for that. And if you were to have a problem, where were you going to go?
There are mountains, but there's a corridor from McCollum up to Chattanooga that's not, I would barely call it hilly. I mean, there's that. I've made it known that I am seeking to become a professional pilot. And that's going to be a requirement of the job. I feel like I need to build up that experience. Now, the reason it was a go for me was it was overcast. It was about a section that was about 10 miles north of McCollum and about 15 miles south of Chattanooga or whatever it was. If I lost an engine, and I was at plenty of altitude, but I feel like I need to start being in that situation more if I've got to get myself comfortable with it.
Yeah.
Bottom line.
Were you looking along the way? I mean, because I can tell you this, when I was flying back, even just from Madisonville, I am looking every second the whole way, understanding where any options are that I can figure out a road, interstates, just about anything.
There's about,
I'm doing that anyway during daytime, but I'm really doing that at night.
Yeah. So there's about, I can think of 5 airports between Chattanooga and McCollum that are within a 4-mile width of my flight path that have instrument approaches.
Yeah.
And then your altitude was what?
Going up, I was at 8,000 feet. Oh, and that's another thing. I'm not going to call it a religious experience or a spiritual moment, but it was a very unexpected but very cool thing. I was cloud surfing at night. So you're in the clouds at night and it's just black. That's just all there is outside. But then you would get these little moments of grayness and then you would kind of pop out. And it was a really cool experience. So
Do you feel like what do you think about like the sort of the guidance that 5,000 feet at night is about what you should do?
I mean, I guess that just depends on where you are, what the elevation is ground. It's all about giving yourself as much time in an emergency as you can afford yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There's also, I'm on a budget. I'd love to go up to 11,000 to give myself that. But by the time I get up there, I'm going to have to turn around and come right back down. Mm-hmm. So, there's a lot of difference. So to answer your original question, I was 8,000 going up and I was VFR coming back 7,500.
I feel like there's this thing of when you're a baby VFR pilot, you're spending all your time looking to find the next field, wherever you are. And then the secret is you then start flying IFR and it's like, well, you wouldn't be able to see the ground anyway. So all of a sudden, all that level of safety or that thought process changes.
Here's the other thing.
Where you're going to be.
And this is, I didn't choose this route specifically for this reason, but Brian, you asked the question, and now that I think about it, it really is Rome, Calhoun, Dalton, and Lafayette are all airports that are within a reasonable distance of my flight path. And they're all north-south or roughly, they may be 17, 35. But so not a lot of turns would have to be made to get to that runway.
Yeah. You just got all these off ramps, basically.
Yeah.
How many hours did you say you have of nighttime?
I'm at 61.
And
I need 100.
And 100 is just for a hiring
resume
requirement?
building.
Okay.
Companies like to see that on their resumes.
Have you calculated your ATP cross country hours?
I have not.
Okay.
And that's the reason I also went up instead of just doing my night currency, staying here local, is that I wanted to start doing that.
Have you ever been in a Turkish prison? we got Ben on the hot seat.
Yes.
You like gladiators?
You're ahead of us, so that's why.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I've got to check a couple of boxes to get my resume where I really want it. I need 40. I mean, I like to have 50, but 40 hours multi-time.
Yeah.
I need to get the 100 hours of nighttime is something that's within my direct control. It could be done relatively cheaply.
Yeah. I've got 30 somehow. I don't know how I did that, but
because you do a lot of night flying.
I really don't, but I guess I just have. Yeah. I mean, I try not to fly at night, but I still have 30 hours of flying at night. So
stand back. I have like 1.2.
Oh, what's night?
Exactly.
I really need. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, but I forgot how much I enjoy night flying.
Oh, it's
I really
so
do.
good. It's so good.
It's going to be a little tougher with the temperatures getting cooler, winter coming around, and icing, because that's definitely. I'll wait till I get into the professional world before I'm faced with that, where they have planes that actually have fixes for that ice.
Right.
Yes,
like you're not just trying to pour hot coffee on your wing as you go.
That's right.
I have to hit Zach's comment here. He says night IFR is one of the best arguments for a parachute system, in my opinion.
100% agree with that.
There's this whole thing about if you wear a helmet, if you wear a safety belt, seatbelt, where am I? And you then drive riskier or fly riskier, that type of thing.
Yeah.
And there is a tiny bit of that, but that is part of the thought process. And it's definitely the thought that I've had.
Trust me, if I had a plane with a parachute, I would be using, I would prefer that. But what they say about night flying is that if you lose an engine and you choose a place to land, turn on your lights. If you don't like it, turn your lights back off.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited about upcoming flights. And speaking of which, Mr. Siskin, I'm not airing any dirty laundry here or anything, but we have an event coming up this weekend.
Well, I mean, we don't, but there is an event.
You and I have an engagement to attend.
That is true. We and maybe Ted will show up. I don't know. Ted, come on out to Gallatin, Tennessee.
I'm going to leave now. Yeah.
So we're going to check out the Music City Soul. Brian's already checked it out. I'll be checking it out for the first time.
Music City Stole, you said.
Yeah. Music City Soul. What's the airport code? Is it XNX?
Correct.
Yeah.
X-ray, November X-ray.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is a really well done event, and they got, all the huge stage and live music and vendors and all the things, but just the announcement and the production, the TV screens and the whole, they've just got everything really dialed in. It's quite the presentation. So it's really cool. And I will go ahead and just put this out there right now. And I think I mentioned this to you, Ben, in a text message recently, if you choose to read those or if you've unblocked me. But I have already agreed with myself that I am going to compete in the rookie class of Music City Stole next year in a Cherokee 180 with no special anything.
Run what you brung. Yeah.
And, I was really inspired by the guy I saw last year that was doing it, I think in a champ or something, something with no flaps and just,
right.
He's just going to land as short as he can land. He's not, he's not trying to slam on the brakes and stand it up on the front propeller or anything. He's just trying to do the best he can. And that's what.
Well, I will do it with you. I have told you, but I'm doing the same class. I'm not even going to try to compete.
Oh no! Listen, you have to do the rookie class anyway.
Oh, okay. You don't have any choice.
So,
okay.
But the whole point is just that you've already got an airplane that is absolutely dialed for exactly these kinds of activities. And so if I'm doing it in a Cherokee 180 that has no business doing this, then you better show up in the same class as I and beat me. And if you don't beat me, that's what we have to figure out. If somehow
that will be the biggest walk of shame. Ever.
I mean, I'm just going to be counting on the fact that you're going to scratch all of your landings, because that's how I can win.
Well, that is very possible. So don't rule that out. So,
great event.
Yes, we're looking forward to that. That's coming up next week.
That's this weekend, right?
Yeah, this coming week.
Okay.
Adam is asking if my insurance company is okay with that. Yes.
You were landing in an airport. What is wrong with that?
I'm just landing with intention. But we'll check on such things.
Yeah. So we got a few other events and announcements. Or one other really. We are now beginning the plans for the next Midlife Pilot podcast fly-in.
Boom.
Plans are being ideated for spring.
That's a 50 Cent Brian word.
It is. I read it, and thank you for Brian for writing it. Now I sound a little smarter than I did before, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, did I write that down? Oh, I did.
You did. And, it's been bantered about. Nothing is set in stone. Nothing has been set in stone, but we did want to kind of toss out there. We did get some feedback from our friend Ryan, who is in the chat, about having it at Tango 82 again.
Yeah.
Brian, did you want to hit the feedback real quick?
Ryan K writes us, he's been listening to us kick around what we might be doing for the next event, fly-in.
And he was at Tango 82 and he was at Oshkosh as well. So.
He attended the best and worst of aviation events in the last
And we won't identify which is which.
That's right. I'm just leaving that up to you guys. He says, my thought on the fly-in for next year would be to go back to Tango 82. Here is my reasoning for this. Number one, he's basically saying, if done a little earlier, weather should not be as much of a factor. We definitely had all of our battles of storms to get there. It all worked out, but slightly earlier might be slightly better, which we can do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Perfect location with all needed amenities. Absolutely. The Hangar Hotel was amazing. The rooms are really nice. The hotel was great. Yeah. The people that worked there were awesome.
Yeah.
the decor and the whole vibe and the porches and just all the hang.
The tiki bar.
Yeah, tiki bar. We took it all over and made our own bar there. Virgil created his own bar there. And I'll tell you what, those Comanche drivers really know how to put a bar together. I'll tell you what.
Yes.
But anyway, so everything just was so great. And then also there is the diner that's right there. And also there was Tack Arrow, which was just an incredible, gracious host for us to have a live event there. Chairs, tables, PA equipment. They provided all this stuff for us to be able to have a podcast done live there. And they didn't have to do that, So, yes, all those amenities right there on the airport. Cannot beat that. They got good maintenance shop there. Ben took care of you. And, and it's if you're into shutting down runways, it's very easy. Just talk to Ted. Ted was able to shut it down for almost a half an hour with that piece right there. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, it's got all the possibilities.
Yeah.
All right. He says, number 3, I feel the closure of the ramp and the open house really took away from the experience. Okay. So for context, there were 2 other events, I think, happening at the same time. 1, if not 2. There was a Vietnam veterans event, and I think maybe 1 other thing. So there was a car show. There was other planes, people roping off this, roping off that. There were a lot of things, and we had to kind of move all of our planes from the main apron up to the north lot in the middle of the occasion. And it kind of broke up a little bit of the rhythm of us flying all with each other, even though we did plenty of that anyway. But if we can time it to be not while there's a million other things going on, which I'm assuming is possible, then that would probably make it a little better. So I appreciate him mentioning that. Yes, there were some very cool airplanes to see, he says, but without being able to park close, that really put a damper on some fun flying and seeing each other's planes. So the north lot, being relegated to the north lot was not ideal. So many were not able to make it due to various circumstances. A repeat location may be appropriate. We've already had one person in here say, I wasn't able to make it. Please do that. Selfishly, I would like to see a more northern location, but in April, the Midwest weather can be dicey. So, I mean, I don't know. With T82 is the thing to beat.
When can't the weather be dicey in the Midwest?
I know.
He makes good points. March, April can make that probably, it's probably a good time to be there. One of the things that we wanted to ask our audience, both here in the chat and who are listening to us on whatever platform they're using, tell us, if you were at the event, tell us what we should do different, aside from the timing.
Yeah.
And then also, if you have, we're looking for airports that have as little work on us as possible, quite frankly. Like Tango 82 has a hotel, has services, has restaurants nearby. They had crew cars, they had bars, they had diners, they had everything that we could possibly need without technically ever having to leave the airport if we didn't want to. And not saying that we have to have all of that, but, they had, I think, 44 rooms or something, which, anybody wants to get one, they get one, or then go get an Airbnb. They have rental cars that will be delivered there if you want to do that and spend some time there. So if you have a place that's relatively centrally located, I do like our friend Bo sent us a suggestion to go literally to an airport that was just south of the Arctic Circle. and I'm not even exaggerating. He went up there. I'm sure it was an amazing experience, but that's probably not going to work.
Well, we'll take any suggestion.
Yes.
We'll shoot you down and we'll make fun of you, but we'll take suggestions. Yeah.
Mr. Easy G did say Kentucky Lake Dam. That is definitely an option. The number of rooms or places for people to stay, if you're not a camper, that is a little more limited. But
you're talking about Rough River?
Rough River, I mean, yeah. I think
just
Kentucky
really
Lake Kentucky Lake State Park, I think, has cabins too.
Oh, so, do they?
I think. I don't quote me on that, but that may be what he's talking about.
Well, I mean, Rough River is not a terrible place to do it. There's a lot of options there. If people want to camp, they can camp. There's cabins if they want cabins. There's whatever, but it's definitely a little more remote.
Yeah.
And
the restaurant scene there is probably not as good as it was at Tango 82.
Correct. And then also,
if somebody will come and bring barbecue, that's an option. But if we're going to rely on town, it's a different issue.
I also have to mention that our friend Erica Gilbert said that we are welcome to do that in Lexington.
Oh.
And she mentioned that around that time of year, there are horse races and some other things that might be attractions to spouses or, things going on. And I said, we'll put it in the pot there.
You said giddy up.
Yeah.
Zach said, how many attended at Tango 82 for us? And I counted, it was in the 30s that were there. I think as far as planes were concerned, how many do you think there were?
I think we 15? Probably had about between 15 and 20 planes.
Yeah.
It was, it's hard to keep track of that too, because some people were there just for a period, a day or for one night and we all got there so early because of the storms. We got there all 2 nights ahead. And by the time it was all said and done, I couldn't tell you. I thought it was maybe like 50 people or something, but I don't know. Yeah. I mean, considering it's just, this place out in the hill country of Texas, I was very surprised that, anybody came. So it was great, man. We had a hell of a time.
Did you know people live in Texas?
People live in the hill country of Texas even.
Yeah.
Well, the brewery was downtown was really awesome. Again, we have our boxes we need to check, but then there were like 8 more boxes that it also checked. So,
one thing I'm curious about, I don't know what you guys think about, I kind of wanted to try to do something like this last year. It's a little bit of a fine line for us because we don't want to have a sanctioned event where we're now responsible for your fun. All that to be said, it'd be cool if there was at least some educational content, something of value maybe. Erica, I know, would be willing to do something. And we could probably get some other instructor and knowledgeable people to do things. So that it's kind of like, I don't know, when you're telling your wife, or your husband, hey, I'm going to Texas this weekend for this aviation meetup thing. Well, I mean, it's educational. There's a safety seminar. So, I mean, what are you going to do?
Exactly.
Do you not want me to be safe? Because I'm trying to be safe.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, let's knock out the, this is very late, right, in the game here, but we're going to go long tonight. Let's knock out the,
now it's information whiskey. So I'm going to interrupt you there and say, Mr. Dull Geek said, re-educational content. I can do a seminar of Lean of Peak versus Rich of Peak and why Rich of Peak is wrong. That would be perfect. Yes.
Why don't we have just like a Lean of Peak versus Rich of Peak arm wrestling championship?
Oh, I was going to say octagon, but sure.
Yeah.
I was going to keep it simple with cornhole, but that'll do your thing. We're genteel down here in the South.
Well, I just want to remind everybody really quickly that you can join our Patreon community for Discord access and lots of exclusive content. It also helps us do things like create these events or subsidize this technology that you're getting this podcast on right now. 10% supports Freedom Aviation Network's anti-human trafficking efforts. Go to freedomaviationnetwork.org, sign up, be a pilot, help them out. For everything Midlife Pilot Podcast, feedback, merch, and more, visit midlifepilotpodcast.com. The two bounces and a skip, or where's it?
Yeah.
Two
3 landings logged. Yeah.
Those shirts are doing really well. I'm starting to see, like, I was like, oh man, people are getting these in all the colors. So a lot of people are really happy to show off how much they know about landing airplanes and experienced pilot logging landings techniques.
Yeah.
So,
we've got some good suggestions in the chat. Philip in our chat says, could we get education that would qualify for a Wings credit? I'll bet if we could get Mr. Ballard or Miss Gilbert out there, we could probably make that happen.
Yeah, we talked
also,
about that. Yeah.
Our friend Zach is throwing down the challenge to do a Tango 82 stole competition.
And
then
Ted already did that.
Yeah. At a great price as well. And then our friend Barry, Checkmate Barry, says a video creator meetup, tips and tricks, which Brian, I think, you and Ted could speak to that quite
Brian
well.
and Barry could speak to that. Yeah.
That's a good idea.
So, I mean, that sounds really, I like these ideas coming in. Very cool.
Yeah. Video, aviation video meetup sponsored by Checkmate Aviation. Get your own little checklist, you know?
Yeah. And congrats, Barry, for hitting a year on owning Checkmate Aviation.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's been Checklist Barry or Checkmate Barry for a year now. That's awesome. And,
since I know Barry's in the chat right now, and that's just way easier than emailing, I can just tell Barry that the sort of prototype IFR checklist that you sent, I guess each of us, right?
Yep.
So far, it's been so helpful and really cool to have, especially for me as I'm learning. So the way that it sequences things out, I already can tell is just going to be massively valuable to me. So thank you for creating that, and I hope that those hit the market soon so that everybody else can get those. There is one misspelled word on it, but I'm not going to tell you which one it is. All right, but it's a space saving typo probably, right? No, it's a beautifully done, amazing checklist. So can't wait let us know, Barry, when those hit the market. Also, speaking of sponsored things, look at this, guys. Can you see this?
Mine's over my left shoulder here.
I got the latest, greatest My Aero glass from our buddy Banjo Pilot.
Yeah. This
one's actually got a plan view of Lucy on it, and the Bowling Green Airport, which you can see is VFR right now. He's done some really cool. I love just seeing how people improve their iterations, and since we're getting the first of each of these iterations, now it's all 5 gigahertz, and you can press this button here and go through it's got a little dimmer, you can do all these things with it now. It's just it's a cool thing. So anyway, congratulations for Tim getting My Aero glass going, and thanks for sending us always the latest, greatest ones. Yeah. What's on yours, Ted?
My Aero glass. Well, the one that's back there is still showing the bad API, so it's just white. But I got the one from him, the replacement one, and it's still staying in the box. So
same design.
It's showing nothing. I don't know. I haven't opened the box yet.
Oh,
so, yeah.
All right.
I do appreciate that. I thought that the show notes would be short this week because it's information whiskey, and we keep talking about all these things, and so the show notes, which basically for me is very long at this point. So
let's
great.
Just make it longer.
Yeah. Hey, I want to talk about Patreon and Discord. So we have a new Patreon this week, and that's Lawrence G at the Beast Stole Kit level.
Thanks,
and then Discord accomplishments. Chuck and I hung out at Oshkosh. He's a student sport pilot. He completed his solo cross country.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great talk in Discord about that, which is great. Juliet 4 was talking about a big flight. Did he buy a plane? Juliet 4,
I had
Charlie Bravo Oscar.
I saw that, but I don't know.
Okay.
I saw what you're referring to, but I don't know the details behind it.
And then Ryan, who we just spoke about his email about Tango 82, he removed his color vision limitations and flew his family in his plane, which is really awesome.
Nice.
And as a heads up, in the last few months, there have been a lot of changes about people that struggle with color vision, and they changed the process about a year ago at the FAA to make it actually more difficult to distinguish color. They've loosened that test a little bit, and they've also made it so that if you try to upgrade, for instance, if you try to go from a third class to a first class, it's not punitive. So if you fail, you still have your third class. It doesn't matter if you're grandfathered in, that kind of stuff. Don't rely on me telling you this, but there have been changes even in the last month about that color vision test. So these are the things you learn when you watch the FAA Grand Rounds videos.
I'm just glad that you spoke with more specificity around all that, because when I just looked at the notes here that you were going off of, it said Ryan K. color vision removal.
We removed his color vision. Yes, exactly.
So monochromatic flying is a whole new.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I mean, if anything is not punitive, great, because so many other things are. So
yeah. So the FAA was like, hey, look, you don't have to have perfect color vision. You need to be able to have it at an aeromedical level. And that was cool to see that they actually made those changes. So again, please don't rely on me. I'm a sport pilot, so take it for what it's worth. But I would investigate the changes that have happened if you are someone who is on a color vision limitation.
Right on. Yeah.
Very cool.
By the way, Zach's saying we need an MPP discount code. Zach, you deserve one. We'll try to make a note to send you one.
Yeah.
And then if anybody else wants a discount code for merch or any of those things, send us a feedback. Go to midlifepilotpodcast.com and give us either a topic idea or something, or tell us about an experience you had.
Yep.
Feedback about the show, just anything. We would like to be more feedback driven, but people are pretty gun shy. So, we'll now just buy everybody's feedback. It's fine.
Yes.
And we can't really, I mean, there's certain things we get where it's just like, okay, that's not really a feedback.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, Ben, how many hours do you have now?
Total? 1,241 hours.
Wow.
1,241.
In the race to 1,500. And by the way, when I come up, there's a really good chance that I might come up for the Music City Stole. I may come up the night before, because I may be doing the majority of my flying for the foreseeable future at night.
Okay. Well, that's great. Are you saying you need a place to stay? Is that kind of
probably? Yeah. Kind of where I'm going with it.
I mean,
I'm just giving you a heads up that a lot of my transiting to different places are going to be at night. I really do want to focus on
I didn't know that your whole night mention early in this episode was all a big foundational setup for you to be able to get a room at my house for the Music City Stole.
Well, I figured you'd probably have to warn your lovely bride and start, letting her process this information before.
Haven't you stayed here before?
I have not.
Oh. Well, you are welcome to stay here anytime. We have a guest room with your name on it.
Okay.
So no worries. And you know where the airport is, and it's 2 minutes from my house. So come on with it. And I'm at
1,241. It's now the race to 1,500.
Nice. Yeah.
The race to 1,500.
Listen, I'm not. I'll get there when I get there. I'm going to enjoy this part of it. I've decided that I'm not putting pressure on myself to get there, but I'm going to make the most of it.
Well, I am a little bit behind you, but a lot behind you. I've been studying like crazy for instrument and just trying to get this monkey off my back. I think I'll be taking the test in about a month or, somewhere around there. And, it feels really good to start having it click and come together. I want to give a special shout out to our friend Lewis, who's been absolutely mercilessly all over me getting this done. And we have a little Facebook group that's part of Erica Gilbert's course materials. It's sort of a way for us to commune around our class, our little cohort. And Lewis he's instrument flying very experienced. He's in the class. It's kind of like if your dad is like, I'm going to go to school with you until you pass history. You know what I mean? So that's kind of what it is. But it's been great, and when I don't understand something, I mean, he'll just call me and be like, hey, I've only got a few minutes, but I want you to know that I see where you're getting hung up with, this and that. And it's really just this, just think about it this way and that way. And it's actually much simpler than you're making it or whatever. And then you go, oh, okay, great. So I couldn't be doing it as well as I could be if it weren't for Erica having such a great class and having me be a part of it. And then also for Lewis and also Flint, and others for just, I mean, sometimes it takes a village.
Yep.
And I think in this case, it certainly does. But I'm giving it everything I got.
Absolutely. And I want to give a quick shout out. Mike Alpha Golf, Mr. Gillette says night flight back to KNEW. All I have to tell you is be careful what you ask for, because that will likely happen before the end of the year. Ted, do you want to hit up on Adam V's comment?
Yeah, Adam V said, when will y'all do a Mosaic update for when the Sport Pilot changes take effect in a few weeks? Or is that too topical? We probably will. I know Hotel Charlie Papa and myself are both planning on some solo flights that we wouldn't be able to do before that date. So, yeah. Well, I'm sure we'll at least mention it. We'll make an episode out of it.
What can you tell us, Ted?
I'm going to fly the Mighty 152. Yeah.
Whoa.
And 172 for that matter. But
are you ready for that kind of power?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
He's not ready for that kind of gas mileage, though. I can tell you that right now.
Man, a 152 is so narrow. That's the factor that
you could be
amazes
claustrophobic.
Me. Oh, so much.
You've been driving a Tesla, and now somebody's like, "Take this Oldsmobile, kid."
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
they were saying, "Take this Pinto, kid."
Yeah. Yeah.
Very good. What else did we need to cover?
Barry's got it right. He said the word unforecasted. Yes, that is the one word that was the one typo. Good job, Barry.
I was wondering what he was referring to.
I'm sure he's already aware.
And with Mosaic, as Zach says, Ted taught me it affects everyone, so I vote for that also. Sport Pilot does affect all of us because you can walk away from having a medical and still fly. And that is key. And you can probably fly the plane you're in.
With less freeloaders.
Right. This isn't people that necessarily have a Sport Pilot license. It's private pilots exercising the privileges of Sport Pilot. So keep that in mind.
So what you're saying is instead of splitting the gas up between 4 people, I'll only be able to split it up between 2 people.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Live with that. That's fine.
Yeah.
Very cool. What else, fellas? Anything else for the good of the order?
No, man. I think we're good. I do want to remind people to, we got to get on this fly-in thing soon because the planning and the reservations and all that stuff is getting hotel blocks or whatever it is. We're going to have to turn the corner on that soon. I know Ted a couple months ago was like, do we really have to talk about this right now? But I'm sounding the alarm. Now's the time.
If you have a suggestion, you better hurry up and send it to us because we may be making some reservations sooner than later. So you have been warned. I want to remind everybody, don't forget to leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. That really goes a long way in helping us out. If you like what you've heard tonight, or maybe even last week, don't forget to hit subscribe on your podcast player. And I think that's it for me. My bit of wit and wisdom for tonight, I've been kind of structuring it towards multi or IFR. I don't want to forget our private pilot student friends. Tonight is for them, and it is learning to fly where the horizon is steady, but your confidence isn't. Signing off. Episode 149 of the Midlife Pilot Podcast. Goodbye, everybody.